No, a job is not a right. In the former Soviet Union, it was a right. In Venezuela, it's a right, but not here. How many weeks of unemployment are enough? Really? If 99 weeks is not enough, how much is? Is it 100? Is it 200? Is it a lifetime? Or is just a job a right? Okay, so you have an economy that's headed for trouble. Remember, the experts say it's headed for, the whole Hindenburg thing. Now, because the economy is in trouble, civil unrest. We've already seen what's happening in Greece and Europe. They're burning cars because they're cutting entitlements. Again, is an election going to stop these three? Another part of the perfect storm is our borders. Has anyone noticed the violence escalation on the border? Just last month, the cartels had a 2-hour firefight with authorities. 2 hours. An Arizona sheriff just announced the Border Patrol officials are pulling their men off the border because it's just too dangerous. Well, that's great. Here's an idea. Show me the map. Why don't you say we pull back, I don't know, somewhere about here? Portland, is that enough? Why don't we pull back to Oregon? Why don't we give them California? I haven't even mentioned the fact that car bombings are now happening on our border, and nobody seems to notice that car bombings, where do we see those? Hezbollah. Hezbollah is involved. So does switching to a few D's to a few R's in November make this go away? Will a victorious Tea Party candidate send shivers through the spines of the drug cartels and have them retreat from the border? And that's not even counting our biggest problem, us. Because those are the enemies outside the gates. But what about the enemies inside? We've shown you on this program over and over again, those who hate the free market system and the Constitution. You don't think they exist? Let me show you a billboard in Arizona. We don't have an immigration problem. We have a capitalism problem. Sponsored by Revolution Talk. Ow! Revolution. Who doesn't like a nice revolution from time to time? So what is the cure for all of this? Is it the president? Is it the president? I mean, is a Republican going to do it? Republicans are the ones for the 99 billion weeks of unemployment. Their only complaint is that it's paid for. Has it been paid for? Those things may delay a storm from coming on shore, but it's not going to stop it. We haven't even talked about oil. You think if we have a problem in the Middle East, we're going to have a problem with our energy, seeing that we're shutting down the oil rigs? If we have a problem with our energy and the economy is like this, do you think it might cause some more civil unrest? And if you think if we have trouble in the Middle East, we have no energy, the economy collapses and civil unrest, do you think the borders might be overrun? And do you think the enemies within might like that? What's the answer? It's not Obama magic. It's not Congress. It's not the Republicans. It's not the Tea Party. There is one answer. One. And if I may continue my quest to be, the most hated man in America, the weirdest show in America, I don't know. Let me give you the answer. God. These problems are too big. That's the only answer. And I know you don't like getting that from some boob on TV on a news channel, but that's the only answer. I've been looking at this for a long time, gang. Do you believe America was created through divine providence? Do you believe that God worked through our founders? Do you believe that all men are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights? If you don't, then this show's the wrong one for you. But if you say yes to those things, then you have to answer this question. Does this land have a purpose? Is there a reason we're here and we're free? Or is the purpose of freedom over? Because once we lose it here, it ain't around anywhere else. Is God done with the whole free man thing? Is that a concept that God's like, it didn't really work out? Is God now siding with the Chinese who pay their people 50 cents an hour, that build hive-like dormitories over their factories? For a while, they're just like, you know what, I don't know if we don't call Lee anymore. Let's just give him a number. Is that whose side God is on? Is that the way God's looking at people and going, let's call him a number? If you believe that God indeed had his hand in the founding of this country, then don't you think he's kind of interested in its future? We've seen what happened to those who get careless in the past. Every time. Every time. And every time there are warning signs. Every time. Do you want to be the Romans and just disappear? Or do you want to make a difference? Do you want to say, we're not going to repeat it. We've learned from history. Now is the time, gang. Now is the time. Turn to him before he decides, okay, I guess they're never going to get it. And then he allows us to destroy ourselves. And then he turns to our children or our grandchildren or our great-grandchildren. Ronald Reagan, a man I love, said, those who have known freedom and then lost it have never known it again. It is true. If we lose it, we will never see it again. We'll be lucky if our children or grandchildren do. Please. You always dial for a fireman when you need help. Call him. Call him. You know, one of the first episodes on this program, I talked to you about border violence. I've been concerned about it for a long time, and it has absolutely nothing to do with illegal immigration. My concern on our border has always been our security. I mentioned a few minutes ago about an increase of violence along our southern border, and what is eye-opening isn't just the increase in violence, it's the type of violence. This summer, Mexican drug cartels launched a car bomb attack in Juarez. This is just a stone's throw away from El Paso. And I know a lot of Americans are like, oh, yeah, well, that's par for the course. Very violent area, you know. Yeah. Well, this time, they've done this Mideast style car bomb. Now, why would they be doing that? Congresswoman Sue Myrick is asking DHS to, quote, engage us and Mexican law enforcement and Border Patrol officials about Hezbollah's presence, activities, and connections to gangs and drug cartels. Hezbollah has already been active in Colombia and Venezuela for quite some time. So is it really that big of a stretch to think that maybe Hezbollah might migrate north? Let's take a look at the map and see what might be standing in their way. Here is Venezuela and Hugo Chavez. Here's Bogota, Colombia. Oh, it's always so nice. Then we have Panama, which is great. Costa Rica, Nicaragua, El Salvador, Guatemala, Mexico, open border. Nothing. Nothing. There is nothing to stop them. Are you telling me that this influence is not aimed here? Let's look at the Middle East, shall we? Let's see. Here's the Middle East. Here's Saudi Arabia. Here's Iraq. Here's Iran. Here's Syria. Oh, look, here's Jerusalem right here. Here's Israel. What do they have in common? Bad guys coming to get them. These aren't unrelated. By the way, Hezbollah from Iran, and they park a lot of them over here in Syria, and Hezbollah also seems to be parked over here. Why? Why? They're not unrelated. Iran is the problem. And the whole world has just acted like Iran's not serious. These guys are nut jobs. The time to take care of them in any reasonable way is long past. Years ago, I was begging America, cripple them economically. Send people with BlackBerries, with access to Twitter if you have to, whatever. Empower the people. Do what Pope John Paul did and Ronald Reagan. Empower the people. But you know what? Iran is now going to, time has passed. Iran is going to be attacked by Israel. You know why? Because Jews have a right to live. Period. But who's the rest of the world going to blame? Well, they're going to blame Israel, sure. But remember, this is little Satan, this is big Satan. If you think Hezbollah is meddling down here, you know, because, oh, they just like the cocoa beans, you're out of your mind. If you don't think Hezbollah is working to push over our border, you're equally as crazy. Do you know how sharks attack? Sharks, they circle you, and then they bump into you. They bump you before they eat you. I don't know how we got that information, but we have it. They want to see if you're a predator. They want to see what they're up against. The car bomb, it's a shark bump. That's what it is. They're bumping us here on the border. Shark bumps the whole time. They want to see our reaction. And if our reaction is the same as the sheriff had in Arizona, to retreat because he has no choice, what do you think the sharks are going to do? You think they're going to go away, or are they going to start to eat? you don't retreat. You know how you deal with an attacking shark? That's the way you attack. A dead shark has never eaten anyone. A shark with a fence, a shark with, I don't know, shark repellent, gonna be okay. Buckle up, gang, because we don't have anybody who understands shark bumps coming down here. There's nobody rescuing here. There's nothing. And all the sharks are coming from here and swimming right up on our border. Buckle up. It's going to be an extraordinarily dangerous month here in Iran, definitely here. God bless those people over there. And here. It's going to be dangerous. Buckle up.
I'm Rick Leventhal. Senate Majority Leader Harry Reid says the new mosque planned near Ground Zero should not be built there. In a statement today, Reid also called on Republicans to stop blocking legislation for 9/11 first responders. Over the weekend, President Obama backed the mosque in principle. The White House claims his comments were not politically motivated. British airport workers have avoided a strike. Union leaders and airport operators agreeing on a new pay deal for 6,000 employees at 6 different UK airports. And actor Michael Douglas has been diagnosed with a tumor in his throat. The 65-year-old Oscar winner will undergo radiation and chemotherapy. His doctors say he's expected to make a full recovery. For more, visit foxnews.com. Glenn Beck returns in a moment, but first, Brett previews special report. Brett?
Hey, Rick, coming up, Defense Secretary Gates talks about stepping down from his post, and we'll talk about a double-dip recession possibility. Glenn Beck, right now.
I want to talk to you for a second about time. I want to talk to you about two things. I want to talk about time, but not this kind of time. Do you know what time it is? I wonder how many people in America are beginning to wake up. Do you know what time it is? And what is it that you truly believe in? Figure those two things out. When you do, how do you know? How do you know what you really believe in? For the last year, I've been putting together this event down at the Lincoln Memorial that I think is I think it's a defibrillator to the heart of America. And I've raised the funds and decided to make it into a fundraiser for the Special Operations Warrior Foundation. Special Operations, these are the guys who look to each other on the plane and say, if I die, will you take care of my kids? And if you die, I'll take care of yours. They're amazing people. And we have had several very generous donations, but most of everything that we've raised has been from smaller donations. I got in this morning and I saw this. This comes from one of our TV listeners, and I've blocked out the name and everything, but this is a name here, or a check for $25,000. $25,000. A viewer just watched the show, wanted to remain anonymous. I don't know anything about this person. I don't know what they're worth. I don't know where they're from. Don't know. I just know they were able to do a big amount. Thank you for that. But in that same bag, I got something else. I mean, it's great to see this kind of commitment, because to tell you the truth, the majority of donations have not come from the very wealthy. Don't get me wrong, I've talked to wealthy patriots who have said the transformation of their country is not going to happen on their watch because they know what time it is.